高四山洞拐次下升线，广州。
部位在哪里？你用手指给我看一下。
这个位置。
你把手放到仪器上，我们会把对应的数据监测传给刀的尼
Electrocardiograma que tiene una arritmia leve.
Nico. 老先生，你要记得定时复诊。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Huawei 13th Global Mobile Broadband Forum. Please kindly find your seat. Simultaneous interpretation headphones are equipped at each seat, supporting simultaneous interpretation in English, Thai, Chinese, Spanish, French, and Arabic. Please read the instructions and select the language channel relevant to you. Please mute your mobile and other mobile devices. Thank you. Dear guests, the keynote speech will begin in 1 minute. Please take your seat as soon as possible and mute your mobile phone and other mobile devices. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the Huawei 13th Global Mobile Broadband Forum. I am Zero, your moderator of Keynote session. Thank you for joining us in Bangkok. Before we get started, let's take a look of how 5G leads the stride in the mobile industry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Mr. Ken Hu, Huawei's rotating chairman, to the stage to share his thoughts on how 5G leads the stride.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bangkok, and welcome to the Mobile Broadband Forum 2022. Thanks for joining us. It's a great pleasure for me to take this opportunity to share with you some of my views on our industry's development. As we all know, the global economy is struggling these days. Many industries are going digital for new growth, and 5G can help. So the focus of this year's event is 5G. Not just the progress that we have made, but also the opportunities ahead. Today, I would like to talk about these opportunities and how can we make the most of them. 5G has faster than any previous generation of mobile technology. In just 3 years, there are now over 200 5G networks and more than 700 million 5G users around the world. This rapid development is driving new shifts in consumer behavior. For example, high-definition video now accounts for 60% of all 5G traffic. And new mobile applications like short videos, live streaming, and cloud phone are driving growth in DOU, ARPU, and revenue. Even more exciting is in the progress on the B2B side. We are seeing many brand new 5G-powered applications in industries like oil and gas, mining, manufacturing, and transportation. For example, applications like autonomous mining trucks were not practical without 5G. These applications are not only innovative, they are generating real commercial value for carriers too. In China, for example, the numbers are adding up fast. In 2021, Chinese carriers brought in almost $500 million from 5G2B projects. That's from connectivity alone. The exciting part is 5G to B projects have also generated 10 times that amount from new revenue sources like data and integrated ICT services. I'm confident that this momentum will continue and 5G to B services will become a powerful new growth engine for our industry. Starting back to 2012, after 10 years of research and development, investment, and pilots, 5G is finally in the fast lane. We should all be proud of the progress that we have made. But this is only the beginning. There's more we can do to fully unleash the value of 5G. In the consumer market, more than 1 billion new 5G devices have shipped. Some carriers have achieved a 5G traffic ratio greater than 50%. But for many carriers, it is still lower than 20%. So there's a lot of room to push these numbers up. At the same time, carriers can explore new experience-based revenue models, such as premium packages that guarantee speed and latency. From my observations, these are already becoming popular in Europe and South Korea, and it is growing very fast. As for the to-B market, 5G is a key enabler for digital transformation. 5G's wide coverage and fast speeds are perfect for scenarios like smart grids and smart transportation. In other domains like mining and manufacturing, companies can leverage 5G's reliability and fast uplink for scenarios like video inspection and remote controls. By unleashing the full capabilities of 5G, we can help industries go digital and unlock new growth for carriers. To seize these opportunities, there are a few things we need to do. First, we need to keep building out networks and improving user experience. Right now, 5G only covers 30% of the global population. That's still a big gap with 4G. In addition to coverage, we need to optimize networks for different types of user experience. For example, Chinese carriers have optimized their 5G networks for TikTok and other popular video services. They have greatly reduced latency and lag for a much smoother video experience. As we all know, 3G, 4G, 5G, most consumers are not quite clear about what this means. But the difference in experience is very clear. You can feel it, and better experience is a great way to attract new users to 5G services. To keep pushing experience to the next level, we also need to push network capabilities to the next level. 5.5G is the path forward. Together with carriers and industry partners, we have proposed 4 features for 5.5G networks. 10 Gbps downlink, 1 Gbps uplink, support for 100 billion connections, and native intelligence. To achieve this, the industry needs to come together, define standards, prepare the spectrum, and build out the ecosystem. Better networks will help us to innovate more on services. For consumers, we can provide a brand new experience with services like extended reality and cloud gaming. For example, many carriers are working on enriched 5G calling services, which include smart conferences, real-time translation, and remote guidance. These services will provide users with a brand new experience for 5G calls, like multimedia, visualization, and more personal interaction. For businesses, carriers can go beyond connectivity and provide more comprehensive digital transformation solutions. In the past 2 years, we have seen many great cases in different markets around the world. Let me share with you some examples. In Thailand, carriers are working with partners to help a smart hospital in Bangkok provide new services like 5G smart ambulances and remote consultation. In South Africa, a carrier has helped a mining company find partners to deploy applications on its 5G networks. With these applications, the mine has automated many aspects of operations and maintenance. Not only do these applications provide practical value for industries moving forward, carriers can also leverage 5G with cloud and AI to expand into integration service and open up new revenue streams. Of course, this requires new capabilities, including cloud, system integration, and also consulting and planning for digital transformation. This all require a different set of core competencies. And Huawei is more than happy to work with carriers to bridge any capability gaps. Ladies and gentlemen, 5G is developing fast, and there is so much potential out there. But we still have a lot of challenges ahead of us. I'm confident that if we work together, we can make great strides together. Thanks again for joining us, and I hope you all to enjoy this year's Mobile Broadband Forum.
Hu for your inspiring keynote speech. 5G has played a crucial role in driving digital development and inclusion across society by making our world more connected than ever. Next, let's invite our second keynote speaker, Ms. Lara, Chief Marketing Officer of GSMA, who will talk about building a smart 5G world together.
A few weeks ago, someone asked me if I could remember my first mobile phone. It took me a few minutes, and then it all came rushing back. I was fresh out of university, and my sister and I had planned what we thought was an epic road trip from Toronto down to Martha's Vineyard for our summer vacation. I had a brand new car, a red Volkswagen Jetta, and because my grandmother was joining us, we decided to get a mobile car phone to make sure that we could be safe and contact anyone in the event of an emergency. I will never forget how cool I felt in that Jetta with my car phone, the wind in our hair, and nothing but open road in front of us. Of course, we could never afford to use the phone because the charges were so expensive, but it was there, and that was everything. Hello, everyone. My name is Lara, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at the GSMA. It's an absolute honor to be here with you this morning to talk about building a smart 5G world. Thank you to Huawei for your kind invitation and your gracious hospitality. When I think back to that road trip, which I promise you was not that long ago, at least not in my mind, and I look at where we are now, I don't think that any young person could have imagined the things that we take completely for granted today. I mean, for that road trip, we had to carefully plan ahead. I had map books. I wrote things down. We had paper in the car, and the instructions were all there. But this morning, I used maps on my phone to get here without even thinking. When we said goodbye to my parents back then, the next time they would hear from us is when we arrived our destination and we used a landline to call them. Today, I stay in contact with my son and daughter wherever I am in the world, and that is hugely meaningful as a parent. And these are considered the small things. The truth is that none of us would be here today in this room if not for connectivity. Over the past few decades, it's become core in our daily lives, and in fact, it's now impossible to imagine a world without it. It has truly transformed the way we live, work, and interact with each other, and it keeps evolving. With each new generation of mobile technology, we find ourselves pushing the boundaries of what we thought could be possible. And as 5G takes off around the world and Metaverse and Web 3.0 become the trends to watch, we find ourselves in the midst of the latest technological revolution. And the decisions that you, the leaders in this room, make today will shape what the future looks like. This is an incredible privilege and, frankly, a tremendous responsibility. At the GSMA, our vision is to unlock the full potential of connectivity so that people, industry, and society thrive. And as we continue to face ever more complex global challenges, we believe firmly that the mobile industry has a role to play in bringing about true change. Consider this. As an industry, we serve 5.3 billion unique mobile subscribers. That is 67% of the world's population. In 2021, the mobile industry contributed $4.5 trillion to the global economy. That's 5% of global GDP. So we are an incredibly powerful platform. And since the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the importance of our industry was made even more clear. As billions were forced into lockdown, mobile connectivity was our only source of contact with friends, family, and workplaces. And I think it's fair to say that the importance of resilient mobile connectivity to society, to all segments of the economy, has never been more compelling. So what does the future hold for the mobile industry? The answer is simple: intelligent connectivity. 5G, together with AI, IoT, and big data, bring to us the era of intelligent connectivity, digitization across all industries. Today, over 234 mobile operators in 81 countries have launched commercial 5G services. And by the end of this year, there will be 1 billion 5G connections around the world. By 2025, we expect 5G to account for over a quarter of total mobile connections globally. And of course, countries in Asia Pacific are among the leaders in this space, with 430 million connections expected by 2025. And in China, we expect even more, with almost 900 million connections by 2025. As 5G rolls out around the world, I think we're starting to get a sense of the full extent of its transformative value. But we need to ensure that the conditions are right and that we build an ecosystem that works for everyone. So how do we do this? Well, I believe that there are 3 key fundamentals that will get us the future we all want: investment, innovation, and partnership. First, when it comes to investment, in terms of CapEx, mobile operators are facing an investment requirement of around $620 billion worldwide between 2022 and 2025. Roughly 85% of this will be in 5G networks. So we need to explore and establish innovative financial models that help to close the investment gap. But we also need policy makers and regulators to invest their time and energy into building flexible regulatory and policy frameworks that will create the conditions for digital investment and innovation to flourish. Secondly, we need innovation to empower digital transformation across sectors. Last year, we saw 5G expand commercially into verticals, opening up potential thanks to economies of scale. But to achieve these economies of scale, we need application scenarios that will move 5G from an optional to a must-have technology. To play our part in this, the GSMA launched the 5G Transformation Hub at MWC Barcelona this year. It showcases standout 5G solutions. And in July, we launched the 5G Industry Challenge, which calls on operators, governments, and verticals to share 5G use cases that demonstrate the transformational power of connectivity. And I have to say, we've already had some incredible submissions, from 5G boosting industrial productivity and transforming sport for spectators, and 5G drones to turbocharged wind farms. All of these are frontier areas of growth. But none of this is going to be possible without the third fundamental, partnership. They say, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And as we head into the future, we need to make sure that we're working quickly and together as a global community to build a 5G ecosystem that will deliver the full value of 5G for everyone. The APAC 5G industry community is a fantastic example of this. This incredibly diverse community brings together mobile operators, Huawei, governments and agencies, 5G technology leaders, and enterprises. It's making incredible strides to promote 5G investment and to pilot use cases across industries and markets in the region. The solutions to many of the global challenges we face and the limitless opportunities to be unlocked will lie in our ability to break free of the old industry silos and to bring a diverse mix of perspectives to the table. Take climate action, for example. Last year, we called on business leaders and policymakers to start using smart technology to achieve net zero by 2050 and to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees. The technology for this already exists, but are very underutilized by some energy-intensive industries like energy, transport, buildings, and manufacturing. If we could come together and start using mobile technology in those 4 sectors, we can enable global savings of around 11 gigatons of carbon emissions by 2030. That's equivalent to around a 40% reduction. That's good for the environment, it's good for business, and it's just one of the many examples of the incredible enablement effect of mobile connectivity, if we work together. We are standing at a unique moment in time, with an opportunity to look at the lessons learned over the past few decades and to work together to build a more resilient and sustainable future for generations to come. When I think back to that young woman in her red Jetta, I don't think she could have ever imagined a world where the mobile phone that she couldn't afford to use would evolve into a device used by 2/3 of the world's population. And that technology powers businesses, transports, and entire cities. The decisions the industry made back then and along the way have shaped the world of the person who's standing in front of you today. And the decisions and actions that we take as leaders today will shape not just our futures, but the futures of generations to come. So, as we gather this week, we need to ask ourselves, what investments are we making? What innovations are we building? And what partnerships are we forming? That will help us to build a smart 5G world together and shape the future of many generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Duar, for your thought-provoking speech. Now we have a good sense of the opportunities for industries brought by 5G and digital transformation. Next, let's invite Mr. Saran Parloprakhan, the head of Mobile and Consumer Products Department of AIS Thailand, to give an address on cross-generation 5G experience for business success.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thailand. Today, all operators are in the period of migrating from 4G to 5G and going to 5.5G or 5G advanced. Thailand is one of the very first country that successfully deployed the 5G spectrum. The regulator deployed 700 megahertz as low band for 5G, 2.6 gigahertz as mid band for 5G, and 26 gigahertz as high band. The 5G investment is huge, so the operators is trying very hard to monetize from 5G investment. What the operators do are four things. First, operators deploy 5G to cover nationwide very quickly by using the mid-band in city area and low band in suburban and rural. You can see from the map of Thailand, the blue color is the mid-band deployment, and the green color is the low-band deployment. When we deployed 5G 2 years ago, the only phone that supports the mass customer to use 5G at that time was iPhone 12, and the price is quite high. So only a number of customers can use 5G network until last month that the basic entry-level phones start to come to the market at the price below $200. For example, the Samsung A12, the Xiaomi phone, and many other brands. So customers start to be able to access 5G in mass scale. What operators also do to help the adoption of 5G is to subsidize the 5G handset. For example, by subscribing to the 5G plan, the customer can get 5G phone at the price as low as $30. And the operator also bundle the attractive contents with 5G offering. However, the 5G rollout at this time for the customers, it is just a faster 4G in the customer perception. 5G comes with promise, 3 promises actually, that it will come with very high speed, or MBB. It will come with very low latency, or URLLC, ultra reliable low latency communication. And it will come with a very low power, or MMTC. However, all these features require ecosystem to be deployed. For the MBB or enhanced mobile broadband, what we need is the deployment of the millimeter wave, and that depends a lot on the availability of handset. Today, the millimeter wave handset is only available in the US, and we hope that this year or maybe next year, there will be millimeter wave devices and ecosystem ready so that we can deploy the enhanced mobile broadband. And unleash the potential of 5G. The ultra-reliable and low-latency communication will require the 5G SA with low latency and the mobile edge computing to be deployed. The MMTC, which is in 3GPP release 17, which was just frozen this year, the specification is ready, so the operators are waiting for the features to be deployed in the new version of software. However, all these three promises of 5G, we need to choose one at a time. 5G cannot deliver all the three features at the same time because the three features require different setting of the network configuration. So what the operators will need is the 5G network slicing. That means we partition the 5G network, different partition for different setting, so that the 5G network can support different kind of applications by using the different slicing. The next step of the 5G, we will require more spectrum to support the 5G standalone mode. Because the 5G standalone mode, we cannot utilize the spectrum that is now used for 3G and 4G. So we will need to allocate more spectrum from 3G and 4G to 5G. So what we will see in the near future in many operators is the 3G shutdown. When the operator shut down 3G, the first thing that operator need to consider is how to support voice. Because today, a lot of customers still rely on the 3G CS fallback. So in order to shut down 3G, we need to migrate phones to be VoLTE or VoNR. And once all the handsets are migrated, then operator can shut down 3G and reuse the 3G spectrum for 5G. Then we will need to look for the more spectrum. In Thailand, we haven't deployed the C-band yet. So the next thing regulator in Thailand would consider is to deploy the 3.5 gigahertz C-band for 5G. And also looking for the refarming of the old spectrum that was used for 3G and 4G. The main spectrum that was used for 3G was 2.1 gigahertz. And the main spectrum that was used for 4G in many countries, as well as in Thailand, was 1.8 gigahertz. These are the FDD spectrum. So this will be the next step that operators will look for to reform the 3G and 4G spectrum to add to the 5G spectrum that will support the SA mode. Once the more spectrum is deployed, then it will be time to upgrade the old 3G and 4G equipment to support massive MIMO. That will be the roadmap that we will see in the next 3 years. The next step beyond 5G is 5G Advanced or 5.5G. As I mentioned that 5G comes with 3 features that you can choose one at a time. But for 5.5G, let's consider if we can use 2 features at a time. That will bring us new opportunity to have a combination of 2 features. For example, the massive machine type communication combining with the enhanced mobile broadband. We could have the uplink-centric broadband that allow us to have very high-speed uplink for machine that could support like machine vision or HV video uploading. The combination of enhanced mobile broadband with the ultra-reliable and low-latency communication will allow us to have both high-speed and low-latency that will support applications like holographic. And the combination of machine-type communication with low latency allow us to have the harmonized communication and sensor that would allow us to have a real-time sensor. This will be discussed in 3GPP release 18 that is now being discussed in 3GPP. So we hope that the frozen of the requirement for 5G Advanced will be ready soon, and that will be the next target for operators. So what will happen in 2025? Operators need to upgrade the radio network to be ready for 5G Advanced. Operators also need to upgrade the core network towards cloudification. However, one thing that is very important is to upgrade the network to be more automated, which we call autonomous network or AN. The purpose of AN is to reduce the cost of managing the network by using people, changing to be more automated by using machine. The autonomous network will aim for zero wait, zero trouble, zero touch for the user experience. And for the network operations, it will aim for the self-serving, self-fulfilling, and self-assuring. Today, most operators are operated in level 2, which is partial autonomous network. In level 2, the execution is mostly automated, but the awareness, analyzing, decision, intent, and experience are mostly human. What we aim for in 2025 is whether we can move from level 2 to level 4. That means we leave people to use their intent and experience. But for the execution, for the awareness, for the analysis and decision, is fully automated. This will reduce the cost of operating the network and improve the customer experience. In order to deliver 5G for business segments, operators cannot do this alone. In the manufacturing area, there are experts in this area that we call OT, Operation Technology, and the system integrator. Operators need to work closely with OT and SI in order to deliver the solution to industry. Operator can support the spectrum, the network coverage, but we need the hardware and devices from the OT. Operator can support the private network and network slicing, but we need the software and application from OT. And operator can support the edge, cloud, and IoT platform, but we need system integration from the SI. So by partnership with operator, between operator and those who supply the operation technology, we can deliver 5G to enterprise. Finally, if we can move the customers from 4G to 5G and enable all the promises that 5G promised to deliver to the customers, what we will get is the fast, reliable speed, data-rich visualization, agile automation, intelligent efficiency, and trusted connections. We hope that the road towards migration to 5G and 5.5G will be visualized in the next 3 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parloprakhan, for sharing key insights on future development of high-quality 5G. The Thai operator, True, has a lot of experience in 5G network construction and a track record of creating value for the industry. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Tanfon Manavutavith, Co-Group Chief Commercial Officer of True Thailand, who will give a speech entitled 5G Innovation, Driving Business Success.
on. All right. Good morning, everyone. Now you're in Thailand, so officially to everyone, Sawadee krap. So first of all, we are here today. It's all about 5G. And yes, it's been growing really, really fast. As Kun Saran mentioned earlier this morning when we heard since from beginning from Ken, how fast everything is moving, including all the devices too. Okay. Now let me talk to you and tell you through about the real use case, what we are doing today, how we are growing the 5G fast in Thailand, and also what we are planning to develop in the future. So quickly look at the ancestor of our 5G first. We'll look at the blue line, the 3G. The 3G took around 1.5, almost 2 years to start to picking up. Now you're moving forward to the next one, which is the 4G. If you look at the yellow color, yellow-orange color, it took almost 2 years. But when you look at the 5G, okay, globally, it took only less than a year. And you take out the China, which is the biggest customers group of this, we are still growing in 3 quarters to 4 quarters for 5G. 5G picked up really, really fast at this stage. Now, look, if you look on your right side here, the key success factor for us here in Thailand of the growing is that its ecosystem is ready. There are many factors I'll explain to you later on the ecosystem. Cost efficiencies of the investment, the capex, as everyone mentioned on this. And very important is the support of the regulation and government in Thailand too. Now, if you look at the Asian countries here, Thailand, we are not big countries here, but we are the second largest, fastest growing of the 5G, okay? So we are here at 9.2%. If you look at the number one, it would be Singapore. It's the international hub. It's at 13.9%. We are growing really fast. Maybe next year we could catch up. We'll find out. And of course, look at the numbers by the end of this year, together of all the operators in Thailand, we're going to be growing to more than 10 million of 5G customers. And one of the numbers and the figures that I'm really happy, this morning was looking at Ken's presentation earlier, right? He was showing the number of the device of 1.8 billion device. Everything is a large number. And I was like, oh my God, what data am I presenting here today? But there's one thing that we are actually beating the global. The 5G coverage globally, it was 30%. But right now and moving forward, it's only 2 months away here. We are going to be covering of the 85% coverage in Thailand. So we are beating the global rate. That's what we are happy now. 5 key things, okay? 5 key things that we are the core and the heart and soul of our 5G fast expansion. It's a network, device, use case, partnership. Everyone mentioned about partnership today, and regulation. So why network is the number one thing? You can have the device, many devices around the world. You can have so many use cases, many partners. You don't have the network, there's nothing you can do. So network is the core of everything here. And then the device, use case, partnership, and regulation. I'll explain everything in a deeper detail later. In terms of 5G expansion in Thailand, we are covering 99% of the Bangkok metropolitan area already today. And also in the EEC, which is all of the industrial area, that would be Chonburi, Cha Cheong Sao, and also Rayong. So all of the big industrial companies will be there anyway. Besides, we have 7 frequencies together so that we, both 4G moving up to 5G, we can cover every type of use case to our customers. So our 7 frequency bands also help us making everything suitable for every use cases. Now, you have the network ready, right? What would be the next thing? You have the network, then you would need to have a device. If not, you can't do anything. In terms of device, if you look at 2021, of all device and handset, tablet, everything, there are only 5% of the device that has 5G capability. Moving into this year, it's been 15% already. So we start to have those. We are working with Huawei. We have the Mate XS2. We have the P50, and also many other companies that we are working with, Oppo, Samsung, Apple, right? And moreover, we are doing our OEM device here, which is less than $200. So people from the high-end range until the regular income people can actually engage and use 5G device here in Thailand. Now, you have the network, you have the device. If it's your first time here in Thailand, just so you know, everything you go shopping and buy, all Thai people, flea market, everything, they ask the last questions before you purchase. How much discount can you get? So Thai market are extremely spoiled. So we have the device, then we use our loyalty campaign for loyalty points. We just tell them use X amount of point and then they get the discount for the device. And then if maybe not just only loyalty point, we are working with a company called Ascent Money, allowing to give the customers the loan and installment. So if you want to use 5G device and maybe you're not ready in terms financially, we have the Pay Next and the Pay Next Extra campaign to help them. So we have the device, we have the discount. Now we have the financial option loan and installment to support them. Everything ready. Then what is the last thing? It's a channel that we support them. So if you look at the 6 bubble on the right side here, the first 3 would be our e-commerce. It's the online channel and application channel. You want to get the device, go to those access channel. And besides, you can go to our strategic partner, which is 7-Eleven, Macro, and Lotus here in Thailand. There are everywhere in Thailand, total of more than 15,000 locations. That means you have the network ready. We have the device for you. We have the promotion, and we have the access point for them everywhere. We look at the statistic, right? What would people want to use so that we can actually provide something, a real use case that they can enjoy using 5G device? HD video streaming. I'm sure everyone, we are using it internationally. Everyone probably use Netflix. Here in Thailand, we use our True ID so that you can watch movie, series, watch English Premier League, live content, golf, tennis, everything. The second one is the cloud gaming. This is something for me, it's a bit new because when the first time when I think about 5G and the fast transmission of the data speed, I would be thinking about video and music, which is not surprising. It's Stream HD and Stream HD music. But cloud gaming is something big and gonna be moving forward faster on this. Other than that are the AR and VR. These are the things that I'm sharing with you all about the real use cases that we have today. We have the device, but then if people just buy the 5G device just for voice call or just for texting using WhatsApp or Line, maybe it's not the real use case. They don't need 5G. So we put together 4 core pillars that we offer to customers. The first one on your, now I have to look at my screen, on your left side, right? We have the 5G exclusive, which would be all of the live concerts that you can interact with our singers and the artists. We have a training program that you can actually feel that you are right there with the trainers there. You want to go sightseeing somewhere in Thailand, we're working with the Thailand Tourist Authority so that you can actually look at those locations of where and what they have there in those provinces in the one you see in Amazing Thailand. Now, look at the right pillars on top is the HD video streaming. Earlier that I mentioned, there are movie series people can watch everywhere. People used to have to watch it more at home. You have your fixed broadband at home, right? Now they can just use this 5G device and access all these movie contents and Premier League game and Champions League, even Formula One. The last two of on the bottom right is the cloud AR and the cloud gaming. As I have mentioned to you, it's more than just a game that you maybe 20 years ago when you play your snake game on the Nokia phone, right? It's no longer on those games. People are looking for something more realistic. For example, those shooting basketball in a in the AR mode or playing games with their friends. And the cloud gaming, as I have mentioned. Why cloud gaming? You used to have a very high spec of your PC to be able to play some maybe fast moving and hard and big games, right? But not anymore with the cloud gaming and the 5G speeds. Everything stores in cloud, and because of the 5G technology, it's a low latency and the reliability that allow people to be able to compete and play with their friends. Not anymore that people playing a shooting game and then get hit before hitting others back. In summary, if you look at the 4G subscriber, from year 1 moving to year 2, 147K moving to 1 million. Back then, yes, let me tell you, we were like, wow, we are growing. And then from 1 million to 4.7, oh, wow, we're growing 4.7 times. But you look at the 5G today, we are growing from 800K, we're growing up to 5 million. And by the end of this year, we are definitely hitting more than 10 million together, altogether in Thailand here. Because of all the network facilities, everything are ready for us here in Thailand. Very quickly, everything I just mentioned to you is about the B2C, is the consumer part. Touch a bit to you on the business and enterprise part. These are the key, there are so many industries that start picking up using the 5G, right? But the core one that we are working with and that we see the improvement and progress are the healthcare, education, agriculture, manufacturing, and also smart cities. And as you have seen, again, I'm glad all the sessions earlier, I think we have the same vision and direction. The healthcare is one of the most important things in the world right now. The society, the aging, many things on that. So healthcare is one of the most fast pacing of the 5G pickup on using the 5G. So let me give you the ground of the 5G for the B2B. Consumer, on the consumer side, as I mentioned, you have to have a strong network. Same thing, they need a strong network. You have to have a bandwidth guarantee. You have to have a low latency on that. And of course, you have to, it has to be reliable because it's for a company, for a business. Second is application. Just like consumer, you have to have a gaming, HD streaming, same thing. On the business side, you have to have an application that are suitable for those industries. And lastly, it's a partner that you have to work with each of the industries. The example that Mr. Ken-Hu mentioned this morning, there's a project we work together with Huawei, with NBTC, the regulator in Thailand, with True, and also Sirirat Hospital. Sirirat is one of the best hospitals in Thailand. With this project, there are 3 core things that we work out together. The first one, if you look on the right side upper part, it's a multi-access edge computing. Put in a simple word is that it's a fast, reliable, and safe with the data privacy. That's the number one. The second one is the unmanned vehicle on the lower right side. You need to have, in the hospital, right, there are like many buildings, and you usually have to use humans walking around the buildings, changing the data from the building A to building B, get the medicine from building A to B, or sending some sample from many different buildings. We no longer need that because the unmanned vehicle, we just let the people work in the building, take care of the patient, and this unmanned vehicle will do all the work for transferring everything between buildings to buildings. And the last one on the lower left side is the ambulance. Very simple, you all know. If there's an accident, ambulance pickup, you get the patient to the hospital. The first 5 to 10 minutes, doctors need to look at the blood pressure, look at the data and the detail, the percent of the heartbeat, look at the data. But with this technology, once you put the patient in our ambulance already, all of the data are transmitted to the hospital already. So the doctor and their teams can actually look at the data and also plan in advance on what they have to do to take care of the patient. once the ambulance arrives, they just bring in the patient and put them into the operation room and go ahead or start their operation. Now, the last one is that it's a Bang Sư station here in Thailand. It's like a Grand Central Station. It's called Krungthep Aphivat Central Station. So there are a couple of things we're working here. On the upper right side, it's a security using the 5G for AI. We have the robot to support the people at the stations. And then we have the wheelchair. So we don't no longer need someone to help strolling the wheelchair for the people at the stations. And the last one is fast data transfers and reliable and high security privacy on that. Lastly, I like what you mentioned earlier this morning. If you want to go fast, you go alone. Here, we just want to let you all know that we want to go farther, and the farthest we can go. More than welcome everyone here. We are looking to help expand 5G to grow as fast as we can, and feel free that everyone that we can work out together and become a strong partnership together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manavutavith. Axiata Group has more than 250 million subscribers across 12 countries and is the most popular mobile operator in Southeast Asia. Next, Mr. Thomas Hunt, Axiata Group's Chief Strategy and Technology Officer, will give a keynote speech about the MBB network evolution towards Axiata 5.0.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me. To start off, let me give you a very, very brief introduction of Axiata Group. Yes, we are one of the largest telco groups here in ASEAN and South Asia. We're operating in 11 markets. 6 markets, we are digital telcos. In some other markets, we operate as infrastructure player. edotco is our tower company. And we have digital businesses, Boost and ADA, in a couple of markets. And yes, we are serving an incredible number of customers and powering the digital transformation in the markets we're operating in. But if you can get a glimpse from the markets we're operating in, we have also a key challenge, which is probably very familiar with all of you, but in markets where we are operating is an even bigger challenge. And that is particular that the data hunger our customers have is obviously ever growing. We have exponential data traffic growth, which is in a way fantastic. We are powering the society, we are powering the people connecting, staying in touch, operating their businesses, etc. But at the same time, we have a major challenge, namely that the ARPU, which we are able to realize, is flattish, is in some markets even declining, and we are talking about a magnitude of sub $2 ARPU in some of our markets. That is not a problem which is artificial to Axiata. In other markets, it's just a different magnitude. In Axiata markets, we are not yet, unfortunately, really in the 5G era. We hope that this can be achieved in the next year, eventually to come, to really unlock 5G. But what I'm sharing with you today is more about what are the foundations we believe we have to take on anyway, which are no regret moves to prepare also for the 5G era. So I said, this is not a Axiata problem alone, that data traffic obviously is exponentially growing, but that ARPU is relatively flat or declining. And as what Lara mentioned earlier, I mean, the CapEx needs, which we have to activate in a way to build the networks, are of a very, very staggering amount for all of us. While obviously we love to give faster speeds and better latencies and to the consumers to enable fantastic use cases, we have to tackle the production cost challenge. And that's the Axiata approach. We call it collective brain, where we have pooled our very, very inspired minds from all the opcos to solve that problem together towards a very, very low-cost bit factory. We have defined for ourselves a target of 10 cents per gigabyte production costs, simply because we can't afford any higher, and the yield which we are realizing per gigabyte is ever declining as well, because ARPU is flat, traffic is going through the roof. So a number of activities we have put together for ourselves, which are about tackling the legacy, sunsetting 3G, voice over LTE, of course, open networks in a way, spectrum optimization, spectrum efficiency, network de-risking, very much autonomous network and lean operation as activities to really get there and to achieve the 10 cents per gigabyte by 2024. And we have made, in a way, great progression. We started in 2020 at above 35 cents a gigabyte. And literally every year we have seen a significant decline, which is fantastic. But I said at the same time, the yields which we are able to realize, they are declining literally in synchronous modus, right? So at the end of the day, the yields and the costs are not giving us a fantastic data margin. And that's something which we have to address further through structural transformation. We're looking obviously permanently at our vendor and partner setup and the strategies. 5G, we believe, with all these great and fantastic use cases as what we have seen, which are out of question, production costs, bit factory will come down considerably simply because of the higher spectrum efficiency, etc. But at the same time, we have to make money and we have to invest substantially into rolling out continuously 4G and 5G networks. As I said, we have tackled 3G and legacy in our markets. I will go a little later about the achievements in 3G shutdown in some of our markets. Very much about consolidating the legacy. Data centers have to be consolidated while we are planning to build edge data centers in future. We're looking at smart and very lean operation. How can we really get to the bottom of the production in a way? Same goes to how we can save energy. Energy is one of the key drivers of costs of our business. Obviously, we have at the same time very ambitious goals towards clean energy and zero carbon footprint, but it's also simply a financial aspect, right? Green energy in this case and energy savings are very much in our heart, and that's where we are fighting very hard, and it will help us to bring down our production costs. So our objective, 10 cents a gigabyte by 2024, is a very ambitious journey still. The low-hanging fruits, in a way, we have reaped. Now it is very hard work, which the community, the tech community, and beyond in Axiata has committed to solve for ourselves. As I mentioned, 3G sunset has been one of the key contributors to bringing down production costs so far. We have sunsetted 3G in Malaysia, we have sunsetted 3G in Cambodia, and with fantastic outcomes. In Sri Lanka and in Indonesia, it's very much advanced. We are moving along that line, and we can see that both data traffic, which we can generate with 4G, obviously is going up, production cost is coming down, and since we have in those markets made very, very significant efforts around voice over LTE, the voice quality went up simultaneously. So literally it's a win on all aspects, but certainly before we pulled the plug, we were very much concerned about the risks. Risk, obviously, that eventually the very small number of remaining users on 3G might have a disconnection experience. But ultimately, we managed, we took the leap of faith, we took the chance, and in those markets where we have completed with fantastic results. At the same time, we are very much engaged in transforming our IT. We have embarked over many years on an IT transformation journey from a, in a way, architecture where every of our opcos had their individual architecture, no standardization, no harmonization. We evolved towards a standardized architecture. We call it a hamburger stack, very much microservices-based, open APIs, digital stack, which gives, in a way, the full ability to connect with partners. And yes, we are totally aligned that partners going forward is absolutely critical. We can't build all the use cases which consumers are craving for, but the partners can do. And what our role is to enable those use cases. And that's why an open stack, open API layer stack is what we have been building. We have also taken a stance to take back control. So we have built an organization, roughly 1,300 high-skilled software developers in Axiata, which are, in a way, taking both DevOps roles as well as support roles to all our digital stack. So taking back control, building, again, expertise in-house on the software side, that is a very fundamental building block for us in going forward. As a result, we have achieved great advancements on cost, on go-to-market speed, and in a way also on CRs to the partners. So what is next for us? Our thinking process is connectivity as is right now in a fully integrated telco mode. That is unlikely what we believe we can succeed in. So we are believing in building, in a way, a de-layered structure. We have started many years back with taking our tower infrastructure out and putting it into a separate entity, e.co. And that eventually can go further to de-layer our networks, eventually netcos, fiber cores structures, because we believe that this CapEx tsunami, which we have to continuously manage, is very, very challenging for us to afford. But also the infrastructure and the assets which we have to put in play are eventually utilized better if we share, if we collaborate in the industry and partner. At the same time, we believe that the journey towards a platform play, a platform core, is what we would like to proceed. And that requires to build tech core capabilities. So based on the IT transformation which we have gone through, the take back control capabilities by insourcing and bringing people back into Axiata who have the capabilities very much on building software, developing software, etc. We believe the approach towards building a platform layer is feasible, very much open APIs, changing the way of we work, and eventually looking at what is the setup between OPEX, CAPEX, asset light model in a way to enable with our platforms the use cases which the developer community out there, both on the consumer side and on the B2B side, can build. So we have a blueprint developed for ourselves, which we are following through. We are very proud partners of TM Forum. TM Forum recently has acknowledged Axiata being one of the 3 global telco groups on an ODA track already, ODA enabled. And that is a result of what we have built, take back control as the foundation, then the platform layer which we have built, and I will talk in a minute about it, DTE, and then on top, ODA. We are also very much engaged in TM Forum Camara initiative, as well as the GSMA Openverse, because that is what we believe will be our future. Yes, we stay in the connectivity layer, of course. Connectivity is the fundamental of it, but then on top, exposing our capabilities, which we have, and in a way, monetizing those capabilities. So DTE is a platform which we have developed. It's an open source platform, which is, in a way, a digital telco software stack, which enables the microservices and API ecosystem. And it's open not just to Axiata. We would be very happy to engage with you to build this as eventually in a platform across many groups, because it is enabling exactly the platform play, which we believe both towards the small and micro and SME sector in the markets, but also entrepreneurs and use case developers will be enabled through it. So in a way, Axiata is evolving from a very traditional CSP towards, on the one hand side, a platform play, and on the other hand side, a digital CSP. And we believe that this low-cost bit factory and the IT transformation which we have gone through actually is enabling us to make those steps. And those things are, in our point of view, very much the enabler as well for a striving 5G world for us in our markets, which hopefully in 2023 we can put flags into our markets to be 5G ready. At the end, certainly sustainability and all the ESG commitments which we have put forward being the wrapper around. And yes, digital inclusion in some of our markets, we are still having untapped potential where people are not yet having full broadband connectivity. So we are working very hard to get people obviously connected in every corner of the geography. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt, for your wonderful presentation. South Korea was one of the first markets to deploy 5G and has seen a huge surge in 5G users. Mr. Yoon Ho Choi, President of LG U+ XR Business Department, will deliver a speech entitled Key Initiative to be a Leader in 5G Market.
Good morning. My name is Yoon Ho Choi. I am VP of XR Business and also responsible for 5G business strategy at LG Plus in South Korea. Today, I would like to briefly share with you how LG Plus was able to hold the upper hand in the very competitive 5G market in Korea. Let's start with a short video clip introducing LG Plus and summarizing some of our accomplishments. Let's have a look. LG U+ is a leading MNO in South Korea and a key company within LG Group, focusing on media and telecommunication business for mobile, home, and enterprise. LG U+ aims to continuously drive digital innovation, trying to provide a better customers' value and experience. Using all the big data available, we analyze changes in our customers' daily lives and their lifestyle. With this information, we strive to create added value, thereby making our customers' lives more enjoyable. Since the introduction of 5G in Korea back in April of 2019, LG U+ has been seeing steady growth in all aspects of our business, subscribers, sales, and revenues. Our service revenue has surpassed 10 trillion Korean won, which is about $8.2 billion for the first time in 2020, and it keeps on growing. Operating income was right around 1 trillion Korean as of last year. We have about 80 million mobile subscribers among the population of 50 million in South Korea. 5G era, of course, starts with the successful deployment of a 5G network, but to be a leader in 5G market, one needs to take much more actions than just laying out a network. 5G services, marketing plan, data plan, content plan, 5G content alliance, AI, big data, and so on. LG U+ obtained both 3.5 and 28 GHz for 5G in June 2018 and introduced the world's first commercial 5G network using 3.5 GHz in April 2019. We've been conducting various tests of 5G pilot services using 28 GHz since 2020 and planning to expand the 28 GHz network to high data traffic areas and B2B services. We've been also conducting POCs of 28 GHz SA since 2021 and planning to upgrade the 3.5 GHz network to SA around 2025. Within 3.5 GHz, we started the 5G network deployment, starting with the capital city of Seoul and surrounding metropolitan areas. By the end of 2019, the coverage expanded to other metropolitan areas, providing 5G network to over 65% of populations. In 2020, we started expanding the 5G network to smaller cities and focusing more on the indoor coverage in 2021. Planning to complete the nationwide coverage of 5G by using network sharing in less populated areas by the end of 2024. Recent analysis on worldwide 5G performance shows LG U+ 5G network quality is at the top in terms of speed, latency, and coverage, delivering optimal 5G experience to our users. A study conducted in 2021 also shows that Seoul is the top city among global cities in terms of 5G availability. And with the support of Huawei, LG U+ demonstrated fast median download speed among 3 carriers at just over 640 Mbps. Even though providing stable network coverage and offering reasonable data plans are must, they are not enough to bring you success in 5G market because those two factors eventually become minimum differentiation. Therefore, we wanted to focus on providing unique 5G-based services which will be hard to copy by our competitors and easier for us to maintain our lead even if they decide to introduce similar service. Why is 5G service a key to success in the 5G market? Because with this service, customers understand what to do with the power of 5G instead of just talking about the speed, latency, and connectivity. We wanted to show our customers how 5G service can change their daily lives. We started providing number of mobile media and content services created for 5G network right from day one. U+ VR and U+ AR for immersive digital content, U+ Idol Live for exclusive K-pop multi-view content in 4K, U+ Pro Baseball and U+ Golf for sports fans to watch and enjoy their favorite sports in a way never done before. Bring high-performance desktop-powered mega-hit games 2 game manuals on their mobile device, home fitness application for your daily workout, and bring kids' favorite storybooks alive with AR library. With excellent 5G network and unique 5G service, we wanted our customers to experience what is waiting for them at first hand. We opened the pop-up stores and experience zones around the busy subway train station and city centers for our customers to freely visit and try out our service. Also, created mobile experience zones on trucks to take our 5G services to the customers where they are, like parks and shopping malls. Let's take a look at one of those successful marketing campaigns on AR Art Gallery. Let's take a look, please.
그 예술 작품 보러 갈 시간 같은 게 없었는데 이렇게 출퇴근하면서 보니까 진짜 좋은 것 같아요.
다양한 사람들이 많이 좀 봤으면 좋겠네요.
액자 속에서 그림들이 살아서 움직이니까 좀 신기하고 새로운 것 같아요.
We designed new 5G data plans to attract our customers to higher price plans by packaging more media and premium subscription service with the plans. In result, about 2/3 of our 5G customers subscribed to $63 or higher data plan. Furthermore, in 2021, we started target marketing different content services by customer segments. Also, providing seamless connection between mobile devices and TV sets at home, allowing customers to watch the same content picking up right where they left off. How did all this add up, you might ask? So far, our wireless service revenue went up by 4% in 2021 compared to 2020 with an increase in 5G penetration rate. Our subscriber number also increased by 8% in 2021, and 5G handset penetration rate reached 40.5%. Starting in 2021, we are also producing original concert series collaborating with a number of entertainment companies and agencies like SM and AOMG. In these concerts, we have been applying state-of-the-art XR 5G technologies to give our audience a unique and immersive way of watching their favorite artists perform. These concerts are broadcasted both in local and overseas markets with our telco and media partners. This is real-time online XR concerts.
never die. My verses die. I'm ready to die and I'll be ready to die. 가져와 전부 다.
Just last August, we have launched Idol Plus, a global K-pop content service, currently supporting 6 different languages and expanding to 8 languages soon. Idol Plus provides exclusive original content series, performances, and concerts in multi-views, virtual exhibitions, two-way interactions between artists and fans, and many more unique and immersive experiences to our global K-pop fans all over the world. We established the world's first 5G content alliance to lead the global telecommunications market through innovative and immersive 5G content production. Currently, the alliance consists of 11 members from 7 countries, covering North America, Europe, and Asia. LG Plus uses big data analytics to gather insights from huge data resources across our multiple channels. Using these valuable insights, we continue our efforts to discover the unseen customer needs and to gain in-depth understanding of our customers. With the focus on providing exceptional services through entertainment platform, lifestyle platform, kids education platform, and Web3, LG Plus strives to become the lifestyle mate for our customers to enable more valuable use of their time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Choi, for sharing your illuminating experiences in developing innovative 5G services with LG U+. Vodafone Group is one of the world's most prominent mobile operators, and the company's 5G network development strategies have made waves throughout the industry. Now, let's invite Ms. Nadia Benabdala, Vodafone's Network Strategy and Engineering Director, who will talk about why 5G built right matters.
Hello, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be with you here today, even if virtually. I have chosen a few topics for you today, even though there is one main one that is really close to my heart, and I'm sure it is object of conversation of all of you operators. But before I start, I wanted to frame the presentation a bit with the building blocks of what I'm going to talk about, not necessarily in the order of the slides. You will wonder why I have energy underlying the presentation. Well, I'm not used to talking about energy, but in this particular moment, I think it is a very relevant topic that you have been all facing in these days. Relevant not only because of the commitments that we have in terms of CO2 emissions, but relevant because of the upward pressure that we have with the current political scenario. Now, besides that, I'm going to look at how the needs of the customer will evolve with the advent of new devices. Obviously, there will be new needs on our networks, and we need to meet them through the evolution of our RAN. So RAN enhancement in order to make sure that we continue to fulfill the need of the customers while deliver excellent quality. Obviously, we continue our journey of virtualization, cloudization. We are beyond 80% of virtualization, and the natural evolution with the advent of 5G is to move toward cloudification. And if we want to build any innovation, and if we want to build revenues on that way that goes beyond simple connectivity, starting to look at automation and orchestration in order to drive new scenarios such as network slicing. And then, on top of all, the abstraction of our network, the abstraction of its complexity to expose its capability through programmable APIs that will allow us to really develop a new way to deliver services towards our customer, both consumer and enterprise, and why not be attractive towards the developer community in order to build new innovative application services for our customers. Now, I'd like to start with 5G, so the evolution of our RAN. And for me, this means 5G built right. We know what our customers need and our also shareholders. They want high speeds, they want low latency, they want high reliability, they want broader coverage, and obviously they want to drive efficiency. And if we develop 5G right, as I said, with 5G built right, that means that we need to drive massive MIMO. So we need to deploy the higher bands, the 3.5 gigahertz, and not just do DSS, because having an icon that says 5G on the phone doesn't mean that you deliver the 5G experience to the end customer. We need, obviously, for the latency to deploy the new core, so 5G standalone, but also to look at the possibility to have scenarios that cater to the specific needs of the customer through network slicing, but also where we need really real time, looking at moving to the edge and offering edge computing. When it comes to high reliability, there will be applications that will require high reliability, high security, and there are many already today. The possibility to look at specific slices to cater to those needs. When it comes to broader coverage, looking at the lower band, the 700 megahertz, which is the newer one, and why not also the other band, 800 and 900, if we drive, for example, 3G shutdown in order to be able to do refarming. And finally, driving 5G means having a more efficient network, having 4 to 5 times lower cost per gigabyte. And this, for us, obviously, is very important because it allows us to enable the business. Now, I want to answer to a question. I mean, many will tell you, in particular for consumer or enterprise, will tell you, why 5G? Do I really need to do it now? Why do I need to deploy it this year? Why not next year? Why not the following year? Because I don't see applications that really require 5G today. It's true, today most applications can be delivered through 4G. But we already see use cases in the next 3 to 5 years with advanced AR, with metaverse, with really a new gaming solution that will require that bandwidth, that will require that delay, time delay, so RTT. And we cannot wait until those applications come to build out the network. I mean, we start now so that we are able to deliver that experience when it is needed. And obviously, we need to prioritize. We start with maybe hospitals, maybe places where we have a concentration of enterprise. We start from the cities, the big cities and the city centers. And then we move from there to more suburban and rural areas as use cases develop, as penetration of devices develop. And this is an important reason why we need 5G. It is not the only one. I will hold on to another one that is very, very relevant in order to deploy 5G starting today. But obviously, this is an important one. Now, I wanted to look at the efficiency of 5G. And so today we have a penetration of devices that go between 10 and 20% if I look at the main markets in Europe. I see also a trend in terms of traffic that goes between 40 and well, I would say between 35 and 45%, looking at most markets, even close to 50%. But then I also see that it is important to move traffic towards 5G as penetration augments, because in 2025, we expect these numbers between 10 and 20% to move to 50 to 60%. This is important then to drive 5G because this will give us greater efficiency. If you look at the slide, you can see that already in 2022, with the penetration that is between 10 and 20% of devices, we are already almost at the same efficiency of 4G. And already starting next year, we go beyond the efficiency of 4G. And then, obviously, we drive 4 to 5 times the efficiency of 4G. So it is very important also to look at these aspects because it allows us to manage our unitary cost. Now I come to a very important point. Okay? If you're not convinced with the fact that we need to deploy 5G for the new application, there is another very important reason, which is basic and easy to understand. And that is, if we look at the installed capacity today, for 4G, you're looking at all of the traditional bands. we are where you see with the first bar chart. If we apply DSS, we don't have more capacity. We have sometimes between 5 and 10% less capacity because of the common channel. So we are not raising the capacity. The load, our traffic will move up, as you can see in financial 2025. And already by then, the capacity that 4G can offer will not be sufficient. If I add other bands for those operators that have 2.6 gigahertz TDD and 1.4 gigahertz, then you can see that still with that, we will not be able beyond financial 25 to actually meet our need in terms of capacity. Without 5G, we will start having congestion and degrade the performance that we give to our customer. So 5G is very important for us, not only to drive new use cases, but also for basic capacity needs that our customers need. You can see on top of that chart how much it costs to build a new site on 4G and how much it costs just to add the 3.5 gigahertz layer that would give you the capacity. And from this chart, you can understand that it is much more worth it to actually invest on the future with a much lower price, less than half, than to build a new 4G site. So I hope that this is very clear. 5G is not useful only to drive innovation, new innovative application, to actually enable advanced virtual realities, but it is important for also survival, because it is our bread and butter being able to manage the actual traffic that our customers are offering to us. And since most operators like me like empirical example and not just to hear about things, I wanted to give you an example, very simple, London, the first 45 sites in London that we have deployed. After we turned them on, okay, 46% of the traffic moved to 5G. As I said, the device penetration is between 10 and 20. I'm not going to say exactly the number, but 46% of the traffic moved to 5G. This is impressive. That means that even with the current penetration of devices, we're able to really offload the 4G layer. And so, for sure, not invest on the capacity on 4G and give a better performance because we are offloading a very heavily used layer. The last line of the little table shows you also that without that layer of 5G, I would have gone in March 23 beyond 100% utilization, so congestion of London. So, I mean, I think that this is an important, empirical, simple example that shows that we are able today already, when we deploy sites, to drive, offload, and so to save on capacity investment on the 4G and to give a better experience. Now, we have the traffic growing exponentially. It has been growing at more or less 40–50% per year, as you can see in the first chart. Yet, as operators, we have done an excellent job at really keeping in check, in control, our energy consumption. As you can see, with all of this evolution of the traffic, we have plus or minus 1% variation between the years because we have driven modernization of our network with equipment that is more energy efficient. We have driven decommissioning and disinstallation of old legacy equipment. We have worked hard with our partners to make sure that the equipment that we use are most energy efficient. And this, of course, to maintain a perimeter when it comes to consumption, to meet our commitments in terms of company that have a social contract and want to really go to zero CO2 emissions, but also, of course, for our spend. Now, naturally, today's context is a bit different because now the unitary cost is going up. With all the effort and the good work that we have done, obviously the relevance of driving consumption down is very important because of the unitary cost. And I want to give you another reason why it is important to migrate traffic to 5G. Because as you can see here, you know, with low, with very low, with low, with medium, with long-term traffic, this technology is more efficient from an energy perspective. Again, to be more empirical and give you an example, test that we have done with data transfer, looking at 1 gigabyte. With 3G, it's 100 kilowatt hour. With 4G, it was 20 kilowatt hour. With the 5G, 6 kilowatt hours. This gives you very simple numbers you can compare. And of course, since we are all good citizens and energy conscious, this is a very good reason why traffic needs to move to 5G. Now, I spoke to you about 5G, why 5G is important, and why there isn't only one factor, which is the applications. When somebody tells you, you don't have the applications today, why you need 5G, you have elements to say. But I also want to say that it is important to look at what we can offer beyond connectivity, right? We're not just connectivity companies, we are a telecommunication company, and we need to look beyond. And I believe that network slicing is a good opportunity to actually cater to the need of the customer and the services that the customer wants to offer. I give you an example here, for example, ultra-fast slide, because we have real-time trading on the stock market, we have metaverse, we have manufacturing applications that want ultra-fast, and you can create a slice for them to cater to that. You're not discriminating, I mean, you're not throttling, but you are offering all those applications that require, in order to function well and to have good performance, a slice that caters to the need, okay? Then you have the secure slice, and the secure slice can be for the government, for the banking, it can be for the hospital. And you have a slice that is common to those application providers that caters to those services. And then you have standard slice that looks at, I don't know, WhatsApp, Spotify, browsing, which doesn't have specific needs. And this is important. This means that we need to invest. We need to invest in automation. We need to invest in orchestration because we want to have a dynamic allocation of these slices. We do not want real-time dynamic provision of these slides. We don't want to have static slides that are blocked there even when they are not used. So it is important that we don't just look at manual, but that we think about investing so that we enable these new capabilities that will allow us to monetize our network beyond connectivity. Another element that I wanted to talk about is how we will deliver our applications in the future and how we can create new ways to deliver services that make it more friendly to whom is developing and faster. And that means abstracting the complexity of our network, both fixed and mobile, and exposing our capabilities, network capabilities, through these programmable interfaces so that consumer, enterprise, and third-party programmers can use these capabilities as building blocks that they put together to build new applications. I think this is very powerful, but it requires collaboration across operating companies so that we have obviously the same APIs, because otherwise third-party developers won't scale. They don't want to develop an application that works on one operator and not on another. So this is an area where it is very important that we put aside any differences and we collaborate in order to make sure that we make this a reality, because this is really a true opportunity to monetize our network. And with that, I wanted to close. I spoke to you today about 5G, mainly 5G, and then two opportunities to monetize our 5G, because we need, as operators, to continue to drive the modernization of our connectivity, to always provide the best possible medium to our end customers in order to deliver digital services. Now, 5G is a fundamental enabler of that. Naturally, this goes with the other building block of the strategy that I didn't bring to you today, but you can understand that the evolution of our radio access is one important building block of that strategy. And with that, I'm going to stop here. I thank you for your attention today, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, Ms. Benabdala, for giving us a glimpse of Vodafone's promising 5G networks. Today, we are honored to invite Mr. Roberto Nobile, CEO of Telecom Argentina, to share Telecom Argentina's 5G network development strategies and his views on how MBB enables diversified business for telecom.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. Laura brought today the first device, and I remember that my first device was in 1995, 2 months before my son was born, and it was only just to be there to see if he was born or not. And since then, from SMS, from voice, 4G has brought us a lot of revenues and revenue streams, new revenue streams. And I think the 5G era will bring us a lot of new revenues that we need to seek. Before starting, who we are? We are Telecom, Telecom Argentina. Telecom is the leader operator in Argentina with 33% market share in mobile, but 37% revenue share in mobile. So we are driving revenue from our customers. We don't want to show that number because it means that they are paying more for our services, but really the experience is much better than other operators. We have 51% market share in broadband, 22 million subs, mobile subs, 3.5 million video subs, 4.5 broadband subs, and more than 3 million fixed voice subs still. We also, our footprint is not only in Argentina, we have services through a subsidiary in Paraguay, where we are number 2. We have more than 2.2 million mobile subs there and more than 200 fixed broadband customers. And we also have a video service company in Uruguay. Revenues for $4.4 billion company and $1.3 billion EBITDA last 12 months as of June 2022. So being said that, our purpose basically is to empower our customers, to empower the world of our customer, be an enabler for their potential. And our vision basically is obviously to consolidate ourselves as leaders and keep this ongoing, improving NPS, revenue share, and market share. And also, as it was also mentioned before, provide solutions beyond connectivity. We do not feel that connectivity is all that we can have. We need to move forward and look for new revenue streams that will make this sustainable. Transform ourselves in a marketplace. We have a lot of products that not only a market of APIs to expose the network, but also on the IP video platform we have. We want to become a marketplace for content delivery. And of course, agile and efficient and digital, as well as the best place to develop our people and the best place to work. This is something very similar to what it was already shown, but basically the basis or the fundamentals of our strategy is our infrastructure. We have developed a platform that drives all the network, not just the transportation network that we have designed and built to make sure that we have the lowest TCO in the near future. We're talking about what we call a future-proof network that supports the fixed and the mobile network as well. On top of that, we have created a multi-cloud platform that not only help us on our day-by-day business with our own services, but we offer this platform to our customers, to our enterprise customers, as well as to our B2C customers. But this also is talking about capabilities. What are the things we need to start creating within the company? And we are talking about data. We're talking about data specialists, scientists, and so on. We are talking about cybersecurity. When everything was on-premise, it was very easy to handle cybersecurity. Now we are talking about exposing data workloads and data storage outside these four walls. So we need to get better skills in cybersecurity and give this as a service to our customers, as well as automation, AI, and many other things that are really there, and we need to be prepared and be flexible for what is coming, that we probably don't know exactly what's going to come. This is probably the story of our journey to 5G. We are obviously accelerating VoLTE services, trying to shut down 3G by the year 2023. As June 2021, we have only 22% of our services on VoLTE, and now by the end of October, we have reached 62% of our voice services on VoLTE. Last year, 2021, we were the first operator to launch 5G services on DSS. We know that does not increase any capacity, even though it could be a little, reduces a little capacity, but gives us the opportunity of to learn how to do it, to learn how to develop, how to improve ourselves and make sure that we can move forward with our 5G standalone core that we have started to deploy, and we are accelerating it to make sure that we will be able to run it by the year 2024. And of course, with 5G C-band that is probably being auctioned next February or March of next year, we believe that it will really drive the new capacity and new services and experience that 5G will be able to deliver in the near future. So this is just to share a few examples of what we are doing. On VoLTE, VoLTE is not only for our customer experience in terms of HD voice, which is beyond what they have had in the past, but also it means 3.4 times spectrum efficiency compared to 2G. So that's the tremendous opportunity we have to do the refarming of 3G and moving forward. As we know, in the last year, we have been very successful trying to migrate our customers to VoLTE. We have more than 4,500 3G sites already refarmed, and that 3G was already sunset. And this is part of our ongoing plan. We deploy more than 1,000 new low dual band 44R sites that also improves the capacity and enhances the experience to our customers. And we have the greatest ratio of migration of voice services, voice customers to VoLTE in Latin America, with 250,000 new customers migrated every month to the new service. But it's not only of HD voice. We are talking about HD video services. And in this point, I mean, everything we do is customer-driven. We want to excel the experience of our customers. And we have been able to deploy, as we mentioned, we decided to go fully to 44R in all-in-one antenna. And that really drives a much better experience to our customers. We know that OpenSignal, which is a third-party consultant, has showed that Telecom, our brand, which is Personal, is the best service in Argentina. So out of 9 categories, we are exceeding 7 categories with the best marks. So we're driving better experience to our customers as well. This is something interesting. It's the way we are trying to make and improve customer experience of our best customers. Those are mid-end and high-end customers that pays a lot of money for us. We are trying to make sure that their experience is improving every day. And we are trying to do that, trying to reduce the CapEx. So we try to map, to try to identify those customers with data. We have one solution, which is Smart Care. And with Smart Care data, we were able to filter all the traffic that these users, heavy users, were doing along the network. We know exactly where do they live, what site is the main site they are using, where do they eat, where do they play, where do they work. And so with this aggregated data, we have mapped what we call lifestyle zones. And we make sure that in those lifestyle zones, we are delivering the right capacity and the right experience to our customers. And this is the way we are also trying to make more sharp the use of CapEx on our network. So this is a fantastic instrument we have found for improving NPS and also reducing CapEx as long. And one last thing is that we all are aware of ESG, and we all need to reduce power consumption. We all are trying to work heavily on keeping and caring our planet. So we have adopted super blades sites. We have added more capacity. We are using 44R. We are using 80 AR and also massive MIMO, together with smart lithium batteries. All that package really allowed us to increase capacity a lot. We know that 44R is increasing 41% our capacity. 8 TAR increases 2.4 times the capacity, and massive MIMO more than 41% also the capacity that we are deploying to our customers. But with all that package, we are able to reduce the numbers of radios in each site and therefore reduce consumption. We are also trying new super blades, Blades AAU Pro, together with sub-3G in sites. So we know that delivering 5G services, we will be able to reduce by 30% per bit the services in the near future. So this is a very important thing, not only because of increasing the capacity and giving our customers more experience, but also reducing energy consumption, which is today's big problem. And we're going to be more green. So finally, and this is our last slide, we are trying to build an ecosystem. We are trying to build an ecosystem of platforms that are relevant to our customers, either on the B2C side rather than on the B2B side. On the B2C side, we have developed a fintech, for example, trying to incorporate a lot of people into the banking system. So we are trying to create an e-wallet and an ecosystem, a fintech ecosystem that works together with our whole ecosystem of services within the company. We are deploying an IP video platform, which is called Flow. And Flow is a video platform that can also be given as a service to third parties and to other operators. So we are trying to build an ecosystem of platforms that are important and creates better life and value for our customers. And on the B2B, we believe that we need to go beyond connectivity. Connectivity is a very important revenue stream for us, but for the future, we need to go into consultancy, security, cybersecurity, IoT services, digital solutions. And we are focusing and trying to make sure that our revenues will be 20% of digital solutions on the B2B business in the near future by 2025. Okay, so this is it. Hope and thank you for paying attention to me, and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Nobile, for sharing Telecom Argentina's 5G network strategies. Omantel is a leading telecom operator in the Middle East and has been at the forefront of digital innovation for many years. Next, Mr. Bernhard van der Merway, Omantel's Vice President of Technology, will deliver a keynote speech on 5G reshapes connectivity, enabling business extension for Omantel.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for sitting in on this session. It's great to see so much collective energy around 5G. And as you've seen also from the previous presentations, we share a lot of concerns, we share a lot of risks, maybe we share a lot of opportunities together. And I think there's a lot of collaboration opportunity for us to make this a great success story, not in our own individual markets, but globally. And today I want to take you just on a conversation of what we did in Omantel and how we moved from, let's say, before 5G, how did we consider it, how did we strategize around it, and how did we eventually adopt it, and what it meant for us. And I hope that through that, maybe there will be some insights also that can help you in your journeys and support you in your decisions and the way that you're strategizing. So just about Omantel, we're the incumbent operator in Oman, where we're the technology leader, and we launched our 5G in early, or let's say late 2019, and we continue to lead in both rollout and innovation in 5G. So if I take you to 2019, so for us, pre-5G, for the rest of the world, pre-pandemic maybe, but at this point in time, you will notice that our fixed broadband market was dominated by XDSL services. So we own 100% of the copper market in Oman. And at this point in time, the majority of our fixed broadband was delivered through copper. We also launched our LTE TDD network, 2.3 gigahertz in 2017. But unfortunately, from the beginning when we launched this, we faced some trouble in the way that we actually designed our network, and we actually lagged the market ever since. In retrospect, what we realized was we overlaid our TDD LTE on top of our existing copper network. And our customers preferred the unlimited data that they had on the copper services rather than the wireless. The other thing that we noticed at this time was that there was an increased densification or density of devices inside the home Wi-Fi. So for us, we had about 1.5 to 4 devices per home Wi-Fi or per FBB subscription. And it was that density of devices and these changes in behavior of service consumption and location of consumption that obviously drove the traffic up. The other observation that we made at the time, and I would say this is probably one of the biggest observations for us that showed us we have the wrong throughput in mind. Because as I showed you before, in 2019, we were a company or a network that offered around 10 Mbps. But during the pandemic, we offered speed add-on packages. And you will notice in the FTTH and in the FWA, the uptake was minimal. But in our TDD LTE, where the service was capped predominantly at 10 Mbps, we saw a huge uptake with 64% of our customers taking an add-on on speed. So that immediately showed us or changed our mind about what the future should look like for us in speed and what the future or the strategy we should build towards speed. So that became for us a driver for the next, let's say, for the next investment period. You will see similar confirmation of this from the technologies that we have. FTTH was growing at, I would say for us, a reasonable, healthy rate. LTE, not so much, and copper was declining, as I mentioned before. And at this point in time, the majority of our market was shared with sub-10 Mbps. So we're talking about 2020, it's not that long ago. So at that time, we realized, but if we want to stay relevant, and if we want to catch up on that lost FBB market share, we will have to adopt a bit more of a measured strategy. And we also saw from the 72%, this presented us with a huge blue ocean opportunity just based on speed. So we realized that if we could somehow align our 5G strategy with the synergies of FTTH, the throughput synergies of FTTH, and we could capitalize on the ease of implementation of wireless, that could perhaps be a winning strategy for us. So we immediately started to expand also our 5G network, and we started to ramp up a more aggressive migration away from lower throughput technologies like copper and WFBB. But at the time, of course, also, I think in most of our markets, we maybe face this. We realized that even if you upgrade a customer from copper to fiber, you're not necessarily going to give him a better experience on the home Wi-Fi unless the home Wi-Fi is really at a premium performance. So we bundled our 5G packages with the 1+1+X. So we included the 5G gateway together with home mesh Wi-Fi to deliver a multitude of services. And in this way, we got rid of, at least for these subscribers, of the legacy issue of a poor performing home Wi-Fi. So then we got to 2021, and at this time in our journey, we saw our 5G strategy as having to go beyond adoption. This was a time for us, we could capitalize on a very good network, a very good technical base. We had the widest coverage in the country. We capitalized on the use of indoor and outdoor CPEs in our 5G FWA. And an important point on the use of CPEs, because of our design on the FWA network, and the mix of using indoor and outdoor CPEs, we could capitalize on the ease of installation close to the cell, and we could stretch the border of the cell edge by outdoor installation. And in this way, actually, we increased the coverage per site, the population coverage per site by about 25 to 30%. So we were on a good footing as far as the network was concerned. FWA, at this point in time, was a really solid business case for us. MBB was not much of didn't get much of the attention at this point in time. We were waiting for the market to mature in terms of devices, and we were taking it as things go. So at that point in time, also we launched a new package for our FWA, which we closely aligned with our FTTH packages, where we offered unlimited speed and a dual speed dimension, sorry, unlimited data. And of course, we augmented that with a big diversity of devices so we could cater to all the markets. But as all of you know,
Smart Hospital, and this is the building the blueprint for the Thailand and ASEAN for Smart Hospital, and we look for the future. And this is the good example that we can show to you that the 5G and all the equipment can help our patients and our society. So I think right now we are the unprecedented period of change. We cannot, turn back for the high technology. And I think that now we use this kind of the technology for helping our patients. And this is going very, very fast. And I think that this is going to be very helpful for their medical care now and in the future. And as we know that some new trend technology can assist for the medical care not for long. And I think we should learn about the WebMe for the metaverse, and because of the Web3 efforts to transform the underpinning and operation of the virtual world. Also, the programmable world that we can making the physical as the programmable as the digital. And also the Unreal, this is the most important that we can make it for some education in the medical care. And as we know that now in the new generation of the computers, solving some of the world's most intractable problems and leading to one of the biggest technological disruption of our time. Sirilat is the biggest and the oldest hospital in Thailand. We are older than 134 years already. Every day we have more than 10,000 outpatients daily. And we have more than 20,000 employees to help our patients and teaching our medical students and residents. And our mission is including about the medical education, research, and also medical services. Our vision is to be the medical institute of the nation and a creator of the global citizen well-being. That means we need to gather all the resources and infrastructure to build the very important vision happen in the 5 or 6 years in the future. And if we're talking about the excellent medical service, right now we need to concise about the best healthcare value. What is the meaning of the best healthcare value? This means that we should use the whole information of our patients that can predict and prevent and make them cure from their disease. And these can access from anywhere, from their home or any location that can access their own medical care. And also we try to build the next generation of the doctor who has not only the medicine knowledge, but they need to have the more talent about some bioinformatics, engineering, or any kind of the administration. And this is the most important. We can use the immersive, the virtual reality for our medical education. And finally, we need to conduct the most impact research that confirm that our treatment, our ways to cure the patient is making the better outcomes. And we cannot forget that to use the important bioinformatic technology to help. And these are the things that we can make the best healthcare value. And in Sila Hospital, we don't forget about how to preserve our environmental, society, and the governance to make sure that our vision is sustainable. And some of our knowledge or our innovation may be incremental, maybe radical, maybe architecture, or even disruptive. I think that maybe we can show for the society that our knowledge and our new way of the innovation can help more people, not only in Sri Lanka, but for Thailand or even our ASEAN countries. Right now, the challenges of the healthcare, as we know, we are the era of the aging population, medical staff shortage, rising consumer expectations, growing financial burden, and technology innovation, like in these pictures. But not only the technology, but we need to increase the digital mindset and the skill of our staff, our students, to use this kind of the high technology that we can help to give the better medical care to our patients. If we're talking about the value in healthcare, these are the most important factors, such as the patient-centric, decentralized care, care delivery ecosystem, data-driven, and value-based care. That means now and in the future, the patient should have their own prediction, promotion, and medical care personalized. Also, they can have this healthcare from anywhere. We not emphasize only volume, but we try to make them have the value-based healthcare. That means the data is the most crucial to make this happen. This hospital of the future, I think these are the framework that we need to think about. We should have the new ecosystem, the platform openness, ecosystem co-construction, continuous evolution. The patient should have the new experiences, including smart services, patient-oriented, new mode about the smart treatment, healthcare-oriented, and finally is the new operations such as smart management and operation-oriented. And also we need to use the new technologies with the fully sensing, fully connected, and intelligent. This should be the framework of the smart healthcare and smart hospital. Right now, we can show you some examples that happen in our hospital, such as that for the best medical services, best patient experience, best management efficiency, because of the 5G private network and also cloud to make this all happen, such as the emergency, smart emergency ambulance. That means that we can track the location of our own patient within the limited time, and we can analyze the patient problem and send to our hospital. We can give the better treatment and the good outcomes after that. Also, we can use the patient's data in the emergency room to analyze and give the right medical treatment to our patient in the emergency room. And also that the AI pathology that we could not have time to show you today. And at home, the patient can send all the information about their disease to the doctors in the hospital that we can calculate by, like some disease like diabetes, hypertension, the doctor can give the treatment and send the drug to their home. And also we have the unnamed vehicle that can deliver the medicine, the drugs, and equipment to some location that we try to use it without any man control. So we hope that in the near future, we try to make like a national medical hub. That means that we will try to expand and diffuse of the phase 1 application by using the 5G private network expansion. And we try to make the smart hospital campus by doing the intelligent operation center or healthcare operating center. Then I will show you later. And also we will try to make the smart application incubator by conducting some joint innovation lab and new application launch. And hope that in not quite long from now, we can build a global 5G hospital net benchmark in our nation, our Thailand. And next time we can present you more than 30 use cases for our treatment in Saran Hospital. So this is the phase 1 of the 5G smart hospital. Now we implement all the multi-access edge computing equipment and also the CPE already. That means we can handle about the 5G network optimization, and with the safety and security. We can expand not only one building, but the whole campus, we can use this. And now we send it outside. That means the city and all the Bangkok metropolitan can use our 5G, the smart medical care. And this is the phase 2 that we would like to be in the next couple of years. We try to make the healthcare operating center. That means we can know all the data real time, and we can handle and manage all the system in our hospital. I think this is going to be really useful for my hospital, for the management, and also try to make the better outcomes and the better management to our patients. And this is going to be happening in next month. Now we're setting our digital health hub. This is a co-working space and resources. It's like an innovation lab, innovation hub. And we have the huge, our own patients' data that we can use it for some innovation and for some research. And I think that this is going to be something like a micro services sandbox and digital twin. And hope that for our own atmosphere of our digital environment using the 5G, MEC, hybrid cloud, mobile equipment, this will make our people learn, including innovation process, and hope that they can define the new projects about the medical care. Some idea, commitment, develop and implement and fit to the market for the society, and hope that it's going to be turned to be some commercial scale for our hospital in the future. So I believe that these are some examples that to confirm you that the 5G technology is really important for the smart hospital. And I believe that we make my patient, more than 10,000 outpatients, have a better care, including the precision, safety, satisfaction, and also reduce some cost. And I believe this should be a good example for you if you would like to bring this information back to your country and tell all the medical care sector that it should be good and useful for the people. And I would like to thank for the Huawei to give us the knowledge and some technology. I think this is really, really important to collaborate for the, my hospital is like a government hospital, working with the private sector. This is only one thing for our benefit, all our people, our society, and the quality of life. So thank you very much. Hope that next time I can show you more. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Apachat Asava Mangkokul, for showing us how 5G innovation makes hospital services more accessible. 5G technology is not limited to any single industry. It has made its presence felt in every facet of daily life. 5G cities that harness highly efficient 5G networks are able to cope with surges in demand among individuals and enterprises. Next, let's watch a short video about 5G City White Paper and the construction of the first ever EEC 5G Smart City in Pattaya, Thailand.
5G City is a city where high-efficient 5G network is extensively deployed and be able to provide citywide high connectivity access, tools for city management, implementation of smart services, and greener city from energy efficiency. ONDE takes the lead to develop the 5G City White Paper with industry partners, aiming to provide the guideline on how to build the 5G city efficiently with 4 key strategies to integrate 5G technology into people's life for a sustainable future. Under the guideline of 5G City White Paper, National Telecom and Huawei work together with the industry partners to build the first 5G smart city in EEC. 5G technology can improve the city's traffic management and data accessibility, which will raise the city's security efficiently by decreasing the response time for the local rescue unit. 5G technology can also help monitor air quality and PM 2.5 level in real time and can be utilized in water quality assessment in the future. 5G technology can even help the city provide free Wi-Fi and autonomous vehicle services for tourists, as well as real-time virtual sightseeing via VR headset. The development of 5G City will support Thailand to achieve the goal of being the digital hub of ASEAN.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome also from my side. My name is Matthias Gabrisch, and I'm not the next keynote speaker. I'm a kind of an analog assistant to our digital host over there who is taking a break. And I have the pleasure and I have the honor to be the master of the ceremony for the official launch of the 5G City White Paper and the first ever 5G Smart City. And to do that launch, I need the help of some very distinguished guests, which I will call one after the other to the stage to join me. And first, I would like to call, to join me here on the stage, Colonel Sanpachai Huwanan, who is the president of Thailand National Telecom Public Company. So please join me, Colonel. Come here. Please come here. Just, you can stand here. Okay, so thank you very much. Then second, I would like to call on stage Mr. James Chen, who is Huawei's president of global sales. Please, James, join me. This is your place. We are selected for you. Thanks. Third, I would like to call Mr. Abel Deng, who is the CEO of Huawei Thailand. Abel, I hope you are here. Here, he's coming. Abel, thank you. Just please here. A little bit there, okay. Then I would like to call Mrs. Dr. Ponpan Tanukit, who is the director of the National Space Affairs Division of Thailand. Dr. Tanukit, please join us. So you're here a little bit more here, this, okay. And then I would like to call Mr. Ponchai Graivishen, who is the CEO of Thailand Information and Communication Network Public Company. Mr. Graivishen, please join us. Okay. So you have the longest way to go, unfortunately, just right to there. Okay, thank you. And then last but not least, I would like Mr. Alan Liao, Deputy CEO of Thailand. Alan, please join us here. Okay. So thank you for joining me. And now may everyone ask me what's coming next. So next step is just I would like to ask you step a little back towards the screen. Just go back. Yeah. Closer to the screen. And you see behind you, you see some dots, right? Everyone is close to its dots. And I will do a countdown. So go close to the dot with your hand now. Don't touch it yet. I will do a countdown. And once we are at 0, then please touch it. And then let's see what's happening, right? Okay, everyone is ready. I will do the countdown. Okay, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please touch the dot now. Okay. Thank you so much. Well done. Perfectly done. And now I would like to ask you to make a short group photo. Please just gather here in the middle. You can come closer now so we can freeze this moment. I think we have the photographs ready over here. Don't forget to smile. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much, and thanks again. Our deepest thanks for all of you to witness this launch, and you can leave the stage. Nearly all of you, please just leave the stage one after from this side. I would only ask Mr. James Chen to stay on stage because he will be our next speaker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to be here with you at the Mobile Broadband Forum as the last big person for this morning. Right now, the EEC 5G Smart City is exactly a very good example of 5G business success. Next, I would like to talk about a bit more of how to achieve 5G business success in more details. First, I want to share my views on the opportunities 5G can offer to carriers from three perspectives. First, user experience. Second, IoT. And third, industrial digitalization. Then I will talk about how to seize the opportunities for 5G commercial success. And I believe there are lots of revenue for us to share. But before we start, let's take a quick look at the 5G rollout progress. The progress has been fast in the last 3 years. Globally, there are now more than 200 5G networks and over 700 million subscribers, 5G subscribers. And as for smartphone, for the first time this year in the second quarter, 5G phones made up over 50% of the global shipments. And these network users are growing the market bigger than ever before. Compared with the 4G, 5G networks are 10 times faster, and 5G users are already consuming 2 times more data than before. And those numbers are very good news, and they will continue to grow. So let's look deeper at how to unlock the full business value of 5G. As I mentioned, we will look at 3 areas where 5G is adding significant value: user experience, IoT, and industrial digitalization. First, alongside the traffic-based model, a new user experience model is evolving. Those can help carriers generate more revenue and profits. More and more carriers are using a suite-tier strategy. In fact, 20% of global carriers, including those in countries like Finland, Switzerland, and Germany, are now using this kind of strategy for 5G, and compared with to only 5% in 4G. And many carriers are also starting to offer 5G packages based on other factors like latency and uplink experience. For example, European carriers have launched a low latency package for cloud gaming. And Hong Kong carriers have launched live streaming packages based on the uplink experience. And in South Korea, just as my colleague from AirJio Plus mentioned previously, carriers have built a competitive advantage using AI and VI strategies. And these experience-based models benefit carriers and users. It's a win-win. Users can enjoy a better experience and more services, and carriers can drive up with 20 to 40% high pricing. And second, the increase in mobile connections and traffic won't be limited to smartphones. 5G supports a massive number of connections and a greater capacity than ever. And this will lead to rapid growth in the number of IoT connections for both consumers and the industry. By 2025, everyone will have an average more than 5 connected devices, including smartwatches like I'm using, smart glasses, and smart vehicles. This will generate more connections and data to create huge opportunities for business growth. IoT is also growing fast across different industries. Globally, now more than 2 billion IoT connections are connected by the cellular network. And by 2030, 5G network will connect more than 100 billion IoT devices. And with DOU will reach 0 gigabytes for each. And tapping into the full value of IoT data is critical for future growth and has huge market potential. Third, 5G is also a game changer for carriers in the B2B market. But this growth won't just come from enhanced connectivity. 5G also opens the door for new revenue will come from combining connectivity, cloud, and integration support. This combination can provide services for different industries, like mining, manufacturing, ports, and healthcare. Here in Thailand, just right now we saw from the professor, for example, with support of Huawei and other partners, Syria Hospital has already deployed a number of 5G applications, like smart ambulance, AI-assisted diagnosis, and remote diagnosis. Now, let's take a look at this video. So technology really helps improve the life. So in the 5G area, like FMC providers, all carriers will have the network capabilities to expand their B2B business. So before I move on, let me just sum up the good news for carriers so far. First, 5G experience-based packages already contribute additional up by 20 to 40%. And second, for network traffic, by 2030, 100 billion 5G connected IoT devices, and each of them will contribute DOU of several gigabytes. Third, 5G offers carriers more opportunities in the B2B market. And for the rest of my time, I'm going to talk about how to seize those opportunities by maximizing the value of network resources. Right now, 5G rollout around the world is very unbalanced. The 5G only covers 29% of the global population. That's a huge gap compared with 4G, and the 4G which covers more than 90%. So clearly, to realize the commercial success of 5G, we need to speed up the deployment to fill this gap. Now, I would like to share how Huawei is working to help the carriers maximize the value of every band, every hertz, and every watt. Let's talk about maximize the value of bands. All bands will eventually evolve to 5G. But different bands have different features. And those allow carriers to offer different services to different customers. Let me explain. TDD bands are the ideal choice to supporting 5G's massive capacity and next generation experience. They will build the capacity layer of 5G. And FDD bands are at a lower frequency and provide a solid coverage. Through the modernizing legacy sites, they can provide deep coverage in the urban areas and wide coverage in the suburban areas. They also provide the best user experience and support all services, including voice and narrowband IoT. Millimeter wave operates in a very high spectrum with limited coverage, so it can be deployed to provide a fixed wireless access and boost the capacity in the hotspots. Huawei believes that through smarter use of bands, 5G carriers will be able to maximize network capacity to meet the needs of area services, from wireless cores to smart manufacturing and everything in between. 5G offers massive revenue potential to operators across all levels of the spectrum. Furthermore, adopting wideband massive MIMO on TDD has become an industry trend. At Huawei, we are doing whatever we can to push the boundaries of TDD massive MIMO. Equipped with extremely large antenna arrays, our Meta RRU, actually you will see it over there in the exhibition hall, provides a better performance and low power consumption in indoor environments, buildings, and suburban areas. When antenna space is limited, our Blade AAU simplifies deployment with a smaller footprint and supported for all sub-6 frequency bands, all in one. FDD bands are fragmented and narrow, so adopting MIMO on a single band is not a smart investment. Huawei's FDD gigaband series integrates the sub-3 gig mid and low band radio components into a single RF module. And this series can support 44R, 80AR, and MIMO. It improves spectral efficiency, simplifies deployment, and benefits both 4G and 5G. If we want to fully unlock the whole value of every hertz, we need to introduce MIMO to every band. Please take a look at this video.
High-quality 5G networks are the foundation of the 5G commercial success. Huawei has constantly innovated in MIMO technology to help carriers build the most competitive 5G networks. Our Meta AAU solution for TDD bands has been deployed at scale in numerous countries, including China, the Philippines, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain, where it is greatly improving network performance and energy efficiency. Our Blade AAU Pro solution has been applied at sites with limited antenna space in countries like Switzerland, Germany, and South Africa. The solution allows for simplified sites deployment on a single pole. Our Gigaband MIMO series products for FDD bands have been deployed in over 100 countries and regions worldwide. According to a third party's 5G network performance testing report, 5G networks built by Huawei have outperformed its counterparts by 30% across different metrics. These high-quality 5G networks help increase the traffic offloaded to 5G networks, paving the way for 5G commercial success.
So next, let's look at the energy efficiency. Our goal is to build a quality and energy efficient 5G network that enable every watt to carry more bits. With massive MIMO, 5G can deliver much lower energy efficiency, energy consumption per bit, and each watt can carry 10 times more data than 4G. So the more 5G traffic a network carries, the lower its overall energy consumption. Take one European carriers, for example. They experienced an average overall daily site traffic increase from 480 gig to 630 gig. But because of the 5G portion of that traffic grew from 10 to 21%, they were able to reduce the single site energy by 6%. So now, the entire network is 40% more energy efficient. With network traffic growing faster, up to 100 times and more, Huawei has developed a green architecture to improve network energy performance across 3 different layers: equipment, site, and network. Our innovation in system architecture, materials, and heat dissipation technology has led to increased equipment integration at site level. In addition to a single site simplification, we now support intelligent coordination between the whole site facilities. And to deliver great energy efficiency in the overall network, we are using AI to perform dynamic real-time optimization. By maximizing every watt to carry more bits, our green architecture can enhance energy efficiency across the whole network. And finally, to support a wider range of 5G services, and the evolution towards multi-band and multi-rate, we need to apply intelligent wireless network management. Using technology like real-time channel awareness, network resources such as frequency bands, cells, base station air interface, and multi-sites can be intelligently configured. This helps deliver best user experience and maximize the network capacity. And to support the efficient operation and the maintenance of IoT devices, we need to fault feature self-learning to accurately identify faults and analyze root causes. This will help us shift from passive response to a more proactive maintenance and move towards zero-fault wireless network. And last but not least, to meet the different requirements of the different industries, we need to bring intelligent technologies to the entire operation and maintenance process. We need to move away from a best effort approach to an SRA-centric approach. Combining intelligent technologies with 5G will help carriers launch industry applications faster, build more efficient, more reliable 5G2B networks, and maximize the potential of limited network resources. So, to sum up my thoughts today, it is clear that 5G is transforming the business, user experience, IoT, and industrial digitalization are adding value and helping carriers to generate revenue and profits. If we can go more from network resources, then there will be even more revenue and cost-saving opportunities for us. Huawei is working hardly to help customers build better, greener, more intelligent networks. And for sure, 5G is changing the mobile industry. But I believe this is just the beginning. Working together, we will make strides towards 5G success. Thank you for your time this morning, and I look forward to see you soon again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. As Mr. Chen said, the successful development of 5G has led to industry convergence and facilitated business success. That includes our keynote speeches for the day. We'd like to thank everyone being on hand to witness history in the making. We'll resume the same time tomorrow and discuss how the industry has made strides with 5G. See you tomorrow.